Hi guys, before this video begins, I want to tell you that you will find in the description a link that will redirect you to a video from which you will have the possibility of winning the Pantoufleee 50 ton totally for free. Let's roll. Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about leaks, but not small leaks, like leaks we could get from the 9.2 update to the 9.3. No. We are going to take a look at global leaks, what is ready into Wargaming's pocket, what could be released but they didn't want it to, etc, etc. Because there are plenties of things that will effectively go into the game this year, and I thought that it would be a good idea for all of us to take a look at it. Let's go. First, let's start with a mighty tank that a lot of people wanted to be implemented in World of Tanks Blitz that never make it, the Type 5 Heavy. I gotta be honest with you guys, I never thought that Wargaming would currently work on this tank, but it seems like it's currently going to happen because, well, it seems like the tank is ready to get launched. When is it going to be? We don't know. It could be in 1, 2, 3 years. All we can say is that it was effectively tested by Wargaming and it seems like it's finally working. For the quick detail about the tank, it's basically a mouse equipped with a derp gun. So definitely something fun to play with. The second tank to enter this list is the Centurion Action 10, a tier 10 British medium tank that is probably one of my favorite because I had the pleasure to play it in World of Tanks PC. It's basically a Centurion 7-1 to which you add more armor, a better gun and a better mobility. So something that sticks more to the whole line of Centurions than the FV4202 that we have access to right now, but it seems like there are no projects from Wargaming to effectively change totally the tank. By that, I mean that it doesn't seem like the Action 10 is going to replace the FV4202, but it will be an addition into the game pretty soon. Number 3, the Churchill AVRE, which is basically a tier 6 Churchill on which you mounted a derp gun. Here in this video, it's a 290mm one, but in reality, when it will be eating World of Tanks Blitz, it should be around 152mm. So basically, the exact same gun as the one you have on the KV2, which will be reworked because Wargaming currently doesn't want to have way too many derp guns, but it could be fun to play with, even knowing that the main problem is that the mobility of the tank, in my opinion, doesn't allow it to be fun. Last tank we gotta talk about the STRV-103, a Swedish tier 10 tank destroyer equipped with a brand new mechanism called the pneumatic suspension. And obviously, if it's equipped with new mechanism, it allows me to do a perfect transition to what Wargaming is currently working on when it comes to new types of gameplay. Let's roll. First mechanism, pneumatic suspension, as you can see on screen, which will allow you to artificially increase or decrease your gun depression at will. It should be implemented on the STB, the tank you're currently looking at, plus the STRV-103 when it will be available. Is it going to be game-changing? I think yes, because the STB was already a great tank, but with something like that, it's definitely gonna become the pick of medium at tier 10. Number 2 mechanism, the double barrel mechanism. And obviously, if it's going to be implemented in World of Tanks Blitz, you know what it means. It means that we are gonna have the Object 279/2 or something like that. I forgot the exact name of the tank. But basically, we are gonna get a whole new branch of double barrel tank. When is it going to be due? We don't know yet, and I can't give you exact dates because it seems like it just entered the alpha pre-testing. So just expect something like that for the 10.0 update or even the 11.0 update. So in 1 year. Wheel vehicle just entered testing, or I should say pre-alpha production, which means that if we see those, it's not going to be until at least 3, even 4 years, but it's basically entering testing to see if something like that could fit in World of Tanks Blitz, and if it doesn't fit in its current state, how could it become something original and playable? Because you know that the main problem of those tanks is to go crazy fast. And obviously, something that goes fast on a map like Blitz is definitely not something you're looking for. Finally, we finish off with the worst mechanism ever, the artillery. It seems like Wargaming wants to test how this would feel into the game. And basically, if they're doing that and if my informations or the informations I got are true, it means that we're probably going to switch from a 7 versus 7 game mode to a 15 versus 15 one. It doesn't say that it's going to totally change the game, but maybe that it's going to be different enough for us to get something closer to World of Tanks PC, maybe in order to compete with Tank Company, or maybe just because it was the plan all along. We don't know yet, so we are not going to make any speculations. Now, let's talk about the brand new lines that are ready for introduction. First, on the European tech tree, we will find two different types. We have first the Swedish tank I talked about, the STRV 103, which is a Swedish tank destroyer equipped with the pneumatic suspension, plus Italian tank destroyers that should hit the game I should say, within maybe 2 or 3 updates maximum. German light tanks also had been tested by Wargaming, and it seems like they are ready to be released. For those of you that don't know what the tier 10 looks like, here's a pic. It's called the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, and it's basically, as I said, a tier 10 light tank. The main difference with all of the other light tanks that we already have in World of Tanks Blitz is that this one is definitely not equipped to bounce anything, but it should be compensated by a crazy gun. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes, because currently, and by judging by what we saw in World of Tanks PC, it's definitely not a worthy tank. And to finish off with the tanks ready to be introduced, we have the VZ55, a tank available in World of Tanks PC that is basically a tier 10 Czech tank. So a tech tree one, something you could get totally for free. And the main advantage of the tank, or at least what makes it original, is the fact that it's equipped with a really fast shooting autoloader. So the same principles as the one we have in the TVP, but obviously less shells and more alpha damage per shot. So maybe expect something like 400 alpha damage or 2.5 seconds between shells for a total reload of possibly 15 to 16 seconds, which is definitely good. So to summarize, an IS-7 with an autoloader. Let's keep going with Aesthetic, because yes, also Aesthetic is going to be changed in World of Tanks Blitz. And to be fair, it's some great news, because even if it's not something that touches directly the gameplay, the aesthetic is always something people like. So let's take a look at what they changed. First, on the camo, you will have the possibility of having the insignia of your clan either on the hull or the turret. This still needs to be discussed by Wargaming, and we do not have any information yet, but it means that you are going to be able, as a clan leader, to pick a picture that you will put into your clan, and all the players from your clan will be able to display that little ensign either at the top here or maybe on the turret. We don't know yet where. On top of that, Wargaming will add national flags, special emblems that will be either unlockable by buying them directly into the store, or by making some challenges like, I don't know, getting 10 ace tankers with one tank that will unlock an ace tanker insignia, etc, etc. And if they do that, this is some great news, because it's gonna give us some fresh air to play with. Finally, at a shorter distance, we are going to see at tier 8 exactly what happened at tier 10. If you remember, during the 9.1 update, every single tier 10 of that game got re-equilibrate, and it seems like Wargaming wants to push forward by doing it also on the tier 8. The main problem, and what I fear about that, is that they're going to change a lot the premiums and collectible, and for the people that spent a lot of money on the game, it can be a little bit problematic, specifically if they touch tanks everyone loves. And finally, the last touch, Wargaming is currently working on enlarging some maps. Not all of them, because it's still going to be a test, in my opinion, to see if a 10 versus 10 game mode is fitting. But basically, they are working on a brand new map, Kursk, one that is available also in World of Tanks PC, so you can take a look directly at it here. And at the same time, they're going to rework Immelsdorf to make it a little bit wider, and then another city town that we don't have yet the name. But it's quite interesting, and I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to do that. How will they manage to do this? Are they just going to make the map wider, or are they going to add some different compartments, etc., new buildings, new areas? We don't know yet, but definitely something I'm looking forward to. And finally, let's finish with the best. You are going to be able to unlock a brand new premium tank totally for free using your clan. If you remember correctly, or if you currently remember because it's already the case, when you go into your clan, then go to research by the clan and get to level 10, you see that you have the possibility, by clicking on the supply level 10, to see that you could get the IS-5 purchase. So it's basically the possibility of buying a tier 8 heavy Russian tank for 1.5k gold. And it seems like Wargaming wants to redo that by allowing us to get more supplies. What information I have currently is that you will have to get to level 15 to the clan supply in order to unlock a brand new tank. And what is said is that the level of the tank, the tier of the tank, is either going to be tier 8 or tier 10. It is still subject to change, but it's quite interesting to notice that Wargaming still wants to give us some free stuff, because honestly, they're doing a lot of effort these days, so shout out to you boys. So in definitive, even if I can't tell you exactly where I got these informations because I don't want to put the person in trouble, we have many things Wargaming is working on, and it's always nice to see that even after all those years, they're still trying to surprise us. Personally, I'm still scared about two mechanisms, the wheeled vehicle and the artillery, but I have to stop fearing right now by telling you boys that just because it's being tested by Wargaming in private doesn't mean that it will be necessarily implemented, which means that they can try things that we don't see, yet they don't incorporate them into the game. And if it's the case, just do whatever you want, Wargaming, as long as you don't put artillery into that game, I'm down for it. And talking about clan, talking about challenges, there is one last thing I need to tell you boys. Basically, a friend of mine is organizing on his Discord server a tournament that is going to be World of Tanks Blitz related, in which you will have the possibility of winning some crazy stuffs, not necessarily related to World of Tanks Blitz, but even phones, etc. You will find a link in the description, and hopefully you will check it out. Personally, I'm gonna see you soon for a new video, but before that, just tell me in the comments, what is the most anticipated thing out of what I said for you? What is the crazy thing that will change everything? In my opinion, it's the double-barreled mechanism or the wheeled vehicles, but as those are still in test and we're not sure that they are going to be implemented, let's focus more on the branches, and in my opinion, the VZ55 is going to do a lot of noise. Hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share, and personally, I'm going to see you soon for a new video. Bye.